In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on April 19, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Florida Panthers versus Boston Bruins. The Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins get set to play Game 2 of their first-round best-of-7 series in Boston on Wednesday night. The record-setting Bruins took the opener 3-1 to take a 1-0 lead in the series. The Panthers are 4-1 in their last 5 road games and 4-1 in their last 5 games playing on 1 day's rest. The Bruins are 44-9 in their last 53 home games and 63-16 in their last 79 overall. The under is 5-2-4 in Panthers' last 11 overall. The under is 18-6-2 in Bruins' last 26 home games. The Panthers are 6-20 in the last 26 meetings in Boston and 15-36 in the last 51 meetings. The favorite is 37-18 in the last 55 meetings. The home team is 8-0 in the last 8 meetings. These two teams faced each other 4 times during the regular season. Each team won 2 games and they all won at home. Boston won their 2 regular season home games versus Florida, each by 2 or more goals. The Bruins scored 5 goals in their first home game versus Florida and 7 goals in their second home game versus the Panthers this season. In Game 1 of the playoff series, the Bruins won at home by 2 goals. They scored 3 goals in Game 1 of the playoff series. Defense and goaltending were both less than average for the Panthers during the season. They ranked 21st in goals against per game and 22nd in shots against per game. Boston's offense was excellent all season and they got off to a good start in the first playoff game. The Stars showed up in Game 1 of the playoff series with Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak each scoring a goal for the Bruins. The Florida Panthers didn't play bad in their Game 1 loss. They just gave away dumb penalties and couldn't finish their shots despite 32 attempts. The Panthers can take good away from their loss. The issue is the Bruins have been too consistent to bet against this season, and you kind of have to keep riding the money train until the tickets stop cashing. Also, Patrice Bergeron may be back for this game, which doesn't hurt the home team. Florida will have difficulty on the road once again in Game 2, so the Boston Bruins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. At home, the Bruins have lost just 4 times all season heading into Game 2. More importantly, the Bruins have gone under the goal total in 9 of their last 10 games at home. Florida's lack of scoring depth was apparent in Game 1, with the only quality opportunities coming courtesy of the top line. Boston has the league's stingiest defense, and that is more evident on its home ice. The Bruins have allowed just 1.4 goals per game in their last 10 home games heading into Game 2. Expect another low-scoring game that will stay below the total in this one. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Wild versus Dallas Stars. The first-round series between the Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars is already shaping up to be a classic. The Wild were trailing in the 3rd period of Game 1 but battled back to win 3-2 in double overtime to take the early series lead. The Stars meanwhile hope to bounce back in Game 2 and avoid falling behind 2 games as the series shifts to Minnesota. After a thrilling Game 1 that went late into the night, all signs point to a great game and a memorable series ahead. The Wild are 5-13 in their last 18 conference quarterfinals games and 14-3 in their last 17 games playing on 1 day's rest. The Stars are 4-1 in their last 5 home games and 6-1 in their last 7 overall. The under is 3-1 in Wild last 5 road games. The under is 15-5-2 in Stars last 22 home games. The Wild are 12-31 in the last 43 meetings in Dallas. The underdog is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The road team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings. The Minnesota Wild and Dallas Stars return to the ice on this Wednesday night for Game 2. Game 1 was highly entertaining as we were treated to a full battle and a 3-2 overtime win by the Minnesota Wild. The Wild will look to take a 2-0 series lead back home, while the Stars will look to even the series. Things should be just as exciting in Game 2. Stars forward Joe Pavelski is questionable to play in this game, which would be a huge loss, and even if he does, he won't be at 100% after taking a massive hit by Matt Dumba. Furthermore, the Stars are forced to beat Philip Gustafsson, who made 51 saves on 53 shots multiple times. He has been very good this season, so the Stars will have a hard time making up for what the Wild are likely to score. The Wild have a very strong offense with great depth, who may even score more than they did in this game. The Dallas Stars should be favored as they're at home and kind of in a must-win spot, as you can't drop the first 2 games at home and truly expect to come all the way back and win the series. Still, the Wild is too good overall to turn down in the underdog role. Also, stealing a game in double overtime is almost worth 1.5 games in a series. Guys put a lot of energy into a game that goes so long, and to get nothing out of it is rough on the mind. The Stars can't be feeling great at the moment, so the Minnesota Wild money line is our full game side pick. Both teams have been led by their defense, and after a low-scoring Game 1, the upcoming game looks to have both defensive units step up and control it from the opening puck drop. The Wild, who allowed only 2 goals in Game 1, should limit the Stars' offense with Matthew Dumba, Jonas Brodin, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Philip Gustafsson to make plenty of big saves. The Stars, who allowed only 2 goals in regulation in Game 1, should eliminate and potentially shut out the Wild, who averaged only 2.91 goals per game this season, with Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, Ryan Suter, and the rest of the defensive unit forcing turnovers in the neutral zone and defensive zone, while goaltender Jake Oettinger steps up and blanks the shots on the net. Game 1 finished with 5 goals and well over 60 minutes of play. This seems like a likely trend for this entire playoff series. In the regular season, the Stars were just outside the top 5 in NHL scoring, but the Wild were 23rd overall. These rosters are not expected to fill their opponents' nets in games. Each team is also forced with battling a young and up-and-coming superstar goaltender in Jake Oettinger and Philip Gustafsson. Also, there is lots of physicality in the series thus far, which decreases goals. This will be low-scoring game controlled by both defenses. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Kings versus Edmonton Oilers. I'm expecting this to be a pretty fun series in the Pacific Division between the number 2 seed Edmonton Oilers and the number 3 seed Los Angeles Kings. This will be a rematch of their series in the first round last year, where the Oilers won in 7 games before advancing to the Western Conference Finals, where they went on to lose to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Avalanche. In Game 1 on Monday night, after getting shut out for the first 2 periods of the game, the Kings came back from a 3-1 deficit more than halfway through the third period, with Ans Kopitar scoring the game-tying goal for Los Angeles with 16.7 seconds remaining in regulation on the power play in a 6-on-4 situations to force overtime, with Alex Iafallo getting the Kings the overtime game winner on the power play 9:19 into overtime. The Oilers outshot Los Angeles 40-35 and outplayed the Kings by an expected goal rate of 4.09 to 3.71. Leon Draisaitl scored twice for Edmonton, with Adrian Kemp scoring twice for the Kings. Ans Kopitar had 3 assists and a goal, while the best player in the NHL, Connor McDavid, was held off the scoresheet. These teams split their 4 regular season games, with the Kings winning the first 2 games, 3-1 in Edmonton on November 16th and 6-3 at home on January 16th, and then the Oilers answering back with a 2-0 shutout win at home on March 30th, and then 3-1 in Los Angeles on April 4th. Oilers are 9-2 in their last 11 home games. Oilers are 4-1 in their last 5 versus a team with a winning record. Kings are 4-1 in their last 5 road games. Over is 4-1 in Kings' last 5 overall. Over is 4-1 in Kings' last 5 versus Western Conference. The Kings were able to come back and defeat the Oilers 4-3 in Game 1 in overtime on Monday night. This was a huge win for the Kings, being able to sneak a win on the road against McDavid and the Oilers. Another impressive stat was that the Kings held McDavid to 0 points. I don't see this trend continuing throughout the series, but it's a great start for a Kings team without Kevin Fiala or Gabriel Velarde. The Kings will need to push back in Game 2 as the Oilers work to regain home ice advantage in this series. The Oilers must turn the page quickly after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Kings this past Monday night. The Oilers had controlled the game all the way till the penalties happened in the third period. You could say the Oilers gave that game away to the Kings. The Oilers must play more disciplined hockey against this tough Kings team. Expect McDavid McDavid to have a game tonight as the Oilers can't go to Los Angeles down 2-0. I can't see the Oilers giving the game away like that again, as well as McDavid not getting on the score sheet. So the Edmonton Oilers three-way money line is our full game side pick. Game 1 on Monday night in this series hit the over, and I expect it to hit again. Both of these teams have trended over this season with great offense and inconsistent defense. The over in Oilers games in the regular season went 49 to 26-7, and in Kings games went 41 to 36-5. Edmonton's the best team in the NHL offensively, scoring the most goals in the league, having generated the second most expected goals in the NHL and the fifth most high danger shots. The Kings have scored the 10th most goals in the NHL, having generated the 14th most expected goals in the league. Both defenses and their goaltenders have been pretty inconsistent this season, both allowing more than 3.1 goals on average per game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.